All right, Sean Zattel, FightHype.com here with the greatest promoter of all time, Mr. Bob Arum. Bob, great, really, should be an exciting fight. A guy in Nakathila who's going to come forward and let Shakur Stevenson do what he does best. But the talk on ESPN this morning was that it looks like Jamel Herring would probably be next for Shakur Stevenson.
That is great. Jamel signed a letter to the WBO saying that, yes, he would defend his title against the winner of this fight. And I take Jamel at his word, and I'm looking to do that fight maybe in Madison Square Garden this winter.
Oh, beautiful. Stevenson, obviously, though, is just chomping at the bit. He wants to get right to the Oscar Valdez fight.
Well, again, Oscar is going to fight in September against a really tough opponent, this Consacao. Robeson Consacao, who was a gold medal winner in the Olympics and is undefeated. So, it's not. I'm not giving him any of these guys walks in the park.
Mm-hmm. Although it'd be understandable coming off the war he just came off of. I mean, the body would maybe even have to recover, right?
He's a Marine, so
right. I was thinking of Valdez now, not Jamel.
Oh, Valdez.
Yeah.
Oh, Valdez. No, Valdez. He's a clean living kid who watches himself, watches what he eats. So I don't think that's a problem.
Is the thinking too, Bob, behind making Jamel fight Shakur first is that Valdez and Stevenson could be a bigger fight if it's a unification?
Well, yeah. I mean, again, listen, Shakur is no cinch with Jamel.
Right.
I mean, that's a really good fight. So, I mean, let's see how it all plays out,
Mm-hmm.
It's good. As long as the fans get entertaining fights, I'm for it.
Do you feel like ultimately whoever does win that fight, though, will face Valdez next year?
Yeah, definitely. And in talking with Valdez's people, they've said the same to me. That's what they're looking forward to, is a big fight next year. And, I'm so thrilled now that we announced today our new deal with Sky Television. So that means that all of these fights, starting with Saturday, are going to be seen by the fans in the UK, and they're the best fight fans in the world.
Now, one of those fights will be Vasyl Lomachenko returning against Nakatani.
Yes.
He could lose that fight. Nakatani's a tremendous
for
fighter.
Real.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he did with Verdeo, and he also gave Teofimo fits.
Yeah.
No, Nakatani is real. I give Loma credit for. Loma would never take a tomato can or an easy fight. He wants the toughest fights.
How do you think do you think he'll win that fight, Bob? It's a big.
Again, it remains to be seen. It remains. He's not getting any younger. He's confident. He was here in Vegas of May 22nd for the Taylor Ramirez fight, and I talked with him, and they're working hard. And we'll see what we see on the 26th of June.
Do you think he's still at his peak? He'll be able to still be the same Lomachenko? I mean, we don't know, I guess, until...
No, I mean, any promoter will tell you categorically about it is just not telling the truth. You just don't know until you see it. And that's why the fights are held, so you can actually see. Everything else is just talk.
Or like they say in football, that's why they play the games.
That's why they play the game, right.
But if he's successful against Nakatani, is the fight you want to make on your end for Teofimo once he's finished with Kambosos, do you want to make the rematch with Lomachenko, or would you rather Teo versus Taylor is a more lucrative fight in your opinion?
Well, Taylor has a commitment that he has to fight this Jack Cattrall, undefeated Englishman, and that fight will take place over there. And then Taylor will either defend his title against Teofimo or whatever. Or Taylor is talking to me about fighting Crawford.
Is he? Do you feel like that might be more likely than staying at 140?
I have no idea. You know, fighters say things, and they mean it when they say it, and then managers talk to them. So I don't know. I mean, because Taylor had that outstanding victory over Jose Ramirez, he has a lot of interesting options.
What did he say about the Terrence Crawford fight? That he's kind of
thinks he can beat Crawford. Thinks he's tougher than Crawford and can beat him. You know, again, I'm not. Who am I to say no or yes? I mean, that's why they do the fights.
Right. And speaking of Crawford, what's in store for him? You know, for Terrence Crawford.
And we're meeting with Crawford's people on Friday, and we're going to have him in the ring in October, and then we'll see where he goes from there.
Any potential opponents you could discuss now?
I don't want to discuss it until I talk to them.
Is it true? Well, I know you said you can't. Is it Josecito Lopez is being discussed? Or?
No.
Okay. Because you see things on the internet. Yeah.
Trust me. I don't. I mean, I've never even heard that name. I know he is, the kid, but I've never heard that name in reference to Crawford.
What were your thoughts when it turned out Spence got the Pacquiao fight instead of Terrence?
We had the first crack up, and we had the money coming from Abu Dhabi, and for one reason or another, probably because of the pandemic, the Abu Dhabi people didn't come through, and that left Pacquiao wanted to fight, and it's an enormous risk for any promoter doing a Pacquiao fight because of his purse.
The guarantee.
Guarantee.
Well, Bob, I don't know if anyone's actually asked you this. What do you make of when people in boxing, other fighters, other whomever, managers, they place the blame on you for Terrence not getting the big fights and what happened?
Well, they don't understand what the situation is. I mean, this is a business. And could I have gotten the Terrence fight with Manny Pacquiao? Of course. But again, I'm not in business to lose millions of dollars. And when we estimated what it would do, our figures showed that it would be a substantial loss. Now, I respect other promoters who run figures as well, and they show that there's an opportunity for a profit. I mean, that's the way business is. So it's not to say one is wrong and one is right. If PBC, whatever they're spending on the fight, is able to make a profit, great for them.
Right.
Great for them.
Right.
But I just think the risks are just much too great for us.
How do you expect? Do you think Manny can beat Errol Spence? Do you think he will?
I think, look, Spence and Crawford would be a big favorite against Manny Pacquiao. But you never count Manny Pacquiao out. Pacquiao is the kind of fighter that can rise to an incredible occasion. I remember when I put Manny in with Oscar De La Hoya, and they threatened to put me in jail in the Philippines for jeopardizing Pacquiao's life. And all the reporters here said what a mismatch it was. And it ended up, Pacquiao handled Oscar easily, and if it was a mismatch, it was a mismatch the other way.
This time it's a fresh guy in his prime, though, Bob.
Right.
So you think?
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, there are certain guys in life that you never count out, and one of them is Manny Pacquiao.